Okay, so this is how I started the flower wall. This is the materials you'll need, and you can basically find all of this at Home Depot. I explained it a little bit more at the end. Yeah, there's a video of me at Home Depot. So as you can see, they're huge foam boards. They used to have these little smaller like versions of it. Or you can use the smaller ones. They used to have the smaller ones in here. But that's not thick enough. So yeah, just get a huge board and cut it up. Okay, so I was really nervous at this point. As you can see, the look on my face. I had to call up my construction worker dad to get some tips, and he's the one who locked me in with the Loctite and basically told me how to get started. I also met this female construction worker while I was at Home Depot panicking, and because I didn't know how I was going to get the glue to, because you need time for the glue to dry, and basically she told me you need to tape it. So then I was like, oh shit, I'll just tape it. That's such a great idea. Why didn't I think of that on my own? But you know, sometimes you do need to like pick other people's brains. So don't be afraid to ask questions because it might just help you out. At this point, I freaking finally, this was the most painful part, laying that shit down. Well, no, I take that back. That wasn't the most painful part. It was just like, you know, it took a lot of effort to get up and down and measure those fucking boards and cut them properly. That was really like the hardest part, was measuring it out and getting the proper measurements without using all of my supplies. And then I finally got to start piling in the flowers. I wish I would have designed it a little bit better now that I'm looking back on it, because I did love how it turned out, but if I would have used more big flowers and less tiny flowers, I probably would have had to not use 650 freaking flowers. One of the delays in process was that we had to keep buying more flowers, so I had to keep pausing the project and waiting for the flowers to get in. And the person I was working for was really cheap. This was the most painful part. She was like, oh yeah, can you remove that part so I can put my sign there? Initially, I was going to paint over it, and I kept asking her, like, hey, do you want me to paint this part? Do you want me to cut it? Where's your sign going? Like, those are really important details. So then I finally got the freaking cut out of the part. That's where the real work came in, because it was glued on there. And then I'm finally putting on and testing the sign out. And then I did start working for her as a massage therapist, because I thought, oh, like, as you can see, that little sign on the door says hiring for massage therapists, and I also do massages. So yeah, I thought it was going to be a great thing, but no, it was pretty awful. She treats her employees like shit, but she treats her artists really well. So then, yeah, more working on the wall. Very hard labor trying to get very consistent, tedious work, but it was something that I really enjoyed doing, because I think I'm a sunflower. In my head, that's what I like. That's what I resonate with out of all the flowers. At least right now, totally, definitely do. So yeah, just put in more flowers in. Take your time, you're going to be there for a while. And then you want them to stick, and some of them fell out, so you definitely want to make sure that you just like Loctite it in. Measuring out for that painful sign again. And at first the sign was clear. There's a now hiring sign. And I had got fired from my chiropractor job, so it kind of worked out perfectly after I finished this project. And, you know, working those late night hours, this is before she opened. And then as you can see, the sign was clear. And I kept asking her, like, hey, why the fudge would you get a clear sign? Like, nobody's going to be able to see it. And then she painted the sign, or she got it redone, because I was shitting on her sign creator.
Now I'm doing a video.
And yeah, that's how you create a flower wall that's consistent, that can be seen from the street on a side of an Allstate building. Still have to go and put my tag on it. Bye. Hey, you guys. So I just wanted to come in and talk about how you build a flower wall out of 650 flowers. It really wasn't that complex. The most hard part was figuring out how to do it and stacking the like purple stuff to the wall. But once you figure out how to glue it and hold it, you're also going to need some tape to tape it down while you're doing the project. The organization and the design of it wasn't that complex either. Honestly, it was pretty self-explanatory if you watch the video. But going into the project, I was pretty nervous because I did not really know what to expect, and this was like my first time building a flower wall. But coming from like a really interesting background of like construction, it wasn't too complex, so I went in it pretty confident that I can figure it out. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than I expected, only because I had to keep going back and forth, and we didn't know exactly how many flowers to buy. We really didn't know how many flowers we were going to need to cover a 10-foot surface like that. So that was very, very, very interesting to see and to like discover and to like count up at the end. And yeah, basically you're just going to go in there, put your glue, measure your board, tape it out, and boom bada boom, start laying all those flowers in, and you're going to be good. It was a pretty interesting process, my first time, but first time for everything. And I'm hoping when I get my own studio, I'll be able to put my own flower wall in there, because that was awesome. And then I have to go back and tag it because I definitely did not get credit for that wall, and that's annoying. Unknown artist vibes. But yeah, see you next time for another tutorial.